When the invisible enemy struck, humanity's survival on Arcadia hung by a thread. Commander Jack West must lead his team against an unseen threat that could wipe out their entire colony. But how do you fight what you can't see? As secrets unravel and casualties mount, they discover something far more terrifying than invisibility. Subscribe now to uncover the truth behind the invasion. The morning started like any other on planet Arcadia, where twin suns cast long shadows across the settlement's domed structures. Commander Jack West stood at the observation deck, watching workers tend to hydroponic farms while automated harvesters collected mineral deposits from nearby hills. He'd spent 5 years building this colony, transforming barren land into humanity's new frontier. The intercom crackled to life with routine reports when suddenly, piercing alarms shattered the peaceful atmosphere. Through the reinforced glass, West witnessed something impossible. Equipment floating through the air as if handled by ghostly hands, their movements precise yet utterly silent. His comm unit erupted with panicked voices reporting attacks across multiple sectors, but security feeds showed nothing unusual. Just empty corridors where colonists claimed they were being hunted by unseen forces. West's trained instincts kicked in immediately. He knew this wasn't some technical malfunction or natural phenomenon. Something far more dangerous had arrived on Arcadia, and it could see them perfectly while remaining completely hidden from view. West hurried to the command center where his core team awaited orders. Emily Carter already had holographic displays projecting complex patterns of movement across various colony sectors. Her fingers danced through the air, manipulating data streams that revealed chilling correlations between mysterious disappearances and structural damages. Pattern analysis suggests coordinated movements, she explained, pushing back a strand of auburn hair. Whatever this is, it's intelligent and organized. Scout Ludwig Mayer appeared next, his specialized visor scanning for any trace of the intruders. I've been testing different wavelengths, he reported. Infrared shows heat signatures moving through walls. UV reveals slight distortions in air density. The information painted a terrifying picture. Their enemy could penetrate defenses effortlessly, appearing and disappearing at will. West clenched his fists, knowing traditional combat strategies would be useless against such an opponent. They needed a new approach, one that required unconventional thinking and extreme courage. We're forming a special response team, he declared. Volunteers only. We'll need people willing to face an enemy they can't see, using only their wits and whatever tools we can develop. The gravity of the situation pressed heavily on them all, but West's determination never wavered. This was their home, and he wouldn't let some invisible threat take it without a fight. The volunteer recruitment process revealed both the strength and vulnerability of human nature. Some colonists, driven by fear or self-preservation, quickly fled to underground bunkers. Others, however, stepped forward with resolve etched on their faces. Among them were experts from various fields, a materials scientist who believed she could develop detection methods, a former soldier with experience in guerrilla warfare, and even civilian engineers willing to modify existing technology for new purposes. Their motivations varied. Some sought revenge for lost loved ones, others wanted to protect their families, but all shared a common determination to survive. West personally interviewed each candidate, searching not just for skills but for mental fortitude. He remembered the stories of Earth's past wars, how often the greatest warriors were those who understood the value of sacrifice. In the hastily converted training facility, volunteers practiced blindfolded combat, learning to interpret subtle environmental changes, shifts in air pressure, minute vibrations in the ground, variations in ambient sound. Emily developed basic detection devices using modified sonar technology, while Ludwig tested experimental sensor arrays that could potentially map invisible forms. Every hour brought new challenges as the invisible attackers continued their assault, forcing the team to adapt rapidly. Yet amidst the chaos, a fragile hope began to form. Perhaps human ingenuity could counteract alien invisibility. During one particularly devastating attack, Ludwig made a crucial discovery while investigating a damaged research lab. His enhanced vision equipment picked up residual energy traces that didn't match any known human technology. These weren't random disturbances, but rather a complex web of electromagnetic patterns that seemed to pulse rhythmically. The revelation sent shockwaves through the command center as Emily analyzed the data. "They're generating these fields artificially," she concluded after hours of intense study. "It's not biological invisibility. They're using advanced technology." This knowledge changed everything about their defensive strategy. If the enemy relied on technological camouflage, then that technology might have vulnerabilities they could exploit. Emily proposed developing counterfrequency generators that could theoretically disrupt the invisibility fields. However, implementing this idea posed significant risks. They needed to get close enough to test the theory without alerting their enemies. West authorized small reconnaissance missions, sending teams equipped with prototype detectors into areas recently targeted by the invaders. Each mission yielded more data, painting a clearer picture of the aliens' capabilities while also revealing potential weaknesses in their stealth systems. With every new piece of information, their countermeasures grew more sophisticated, though time remained their greatest enemy. As the days passed, the psychological toll of fighting an unseen enemy became increasingly apparent. Colonists reported sleepless nights, haunted by the constant fear of invisible threats lurking just beyond perception. Even the most experienced soldiers found themselves jumping at shadows, their nerves frayed from continuous tension. West noticed the strain affecting his own judgment, making him question every decision twice over. During one particularly difficult briefing, Emily suggested a radical approach. Instead of focusing solely on technological solutions, they should embrace the psychological aspects of warfare. She proposed flooding affected areas with sensory stimuli, strobe lights synchronized with high-frequency sounds, creating an environment that might disorient their invisible opponents. The implementation proved challenging, requiring careful calibration to avoid harming human occupants while maximizing effectiveness against unknown physiology. Initial tests showed promise, with several volunteers reporting brief glimpses of distorted figures during sensory bombardment sessions. More importantly, the psychological impact worked both ways. Colonists felt empowered by actively engaging their enemy, however indirectly. The atmosphere in the colony gradually shifted from one of helpless dread to cautious optimism. People began volunteering for more dangerous missions, encouraged by the growing belief that victory was possible despite overwhelming odds. Through meticulous analysis of captured energy signatures, Emily identified specific locations where the invaders consistently reappeared, points she termed convergence zones. These areas, marked by unique geological formations, seem to amplify the alien stealth technology. "They're using our own planet against us," she explained during a late-night strategy session. Certain mineral compositions enhance their field generation. This revelation led to a bold plan, establishing surveillance networks around these convergence zones while simultaneously developing portable disruption units capable of targeting individual enemies. The operation required precise coordination. Ludwig's scouting team mapped out patrol patterns, discovering that the invaders maintained regular cycles of activity centered around these zones. Meanwhile, engineering teams worked tirelessly to refine the counterfrequency technology, miniaturizing it into handheld devices that could be deployed quickly. West personally led several stakeouts at these critical locations, observing patterns invisible to the naked eye through enhanced detection equipment. Each successful encounter provided valuable data, allowing them to refine their tactics. The invaders, seemingly unaware of their predictable behavior, continued using the same pathways, unknowingly leading their hunters closer to understanding their true nature and purpose on Arcadia. The breakthrough came unexpectedly during a routine patrol near the largest convergence zone. Ludwig's sensor array detected an unusual concentration of energy signatures gathering in one location. Rather than dispersing as usual, the readings indicated formation, dozens of individual entities assembling into a larger pattern. West ordered immediate containment protocols, deploying the newly developed disruption fields around the perimeter. As the counterfrequencies activated, the air rippled visibly, and for the first time, the invaders became partially visible, translucent forms shimmering like heat waves above desert sands. Their shapes suggested bipedal creatures, taller than humans, with elongated limbs and multiple appendages suggesting advanced manipulative abilities. Most disturbingly, their heads featured numerous sensory organs arranged symmetrically around central cores that pulsed with internal light. Real-time analysis revealed communication patterns among the entities, structured pulses of electromagnetic energy that suggested complex social organization. Emily's strategic mind immediately grasped the implications. If we understand their communication, we might predict their actions. The team captured extensive data before the aliens dispersed, leaving behind residual energy trails that helped refine their detection technology further. This unprecedented glimpse into their enemy's true form transformed from abstract threat to tangible adversary, providing both tactical advantage and renewed determination to defend their home. With their newfound knowledge, the team developed an ambitious multi-layered defense strategy. Emily designed adaptive sensor grids that could learn and adjust to changing alien frequencies, creating dynamic protection zones throughout the colony. These grids interfaced directly with automated defense systems, triggering localized countermeasures whenever an intrusion was detected. Ludwig implemented a network of decoy stations, carefully positioned near convergence zones to lure invaders into traps. Each station featured sophisticated feedback mechanisms that could temporarily intensify the disruption fields, effectively capturing specimens for further study. The psychological warfare aspect evolved into what they called sensory storms, precisely timed barrages of light, sound, and electromagnetic pulses that forced the aliens to either retreat or become exposed. Training programs intensified, incorporating virtual reality simulations based on actual encounter data. Volunteers learn to interpret subtle environmental cues and respond instinctively to potential threats. West established clear protocols for escalating responses, ensuring that every colonist understood their role in the collective defense effort. Regular drills became part of daily life, maintaining readiness while reinforcing community spirit. The combination of technological innovation and human adaptation created a formidable obstacle for the invaders, who found their once unassailable advantage steadily eroding under humanity's relentless counteroffensive. Despite their progress, the invaders demonstrated remarkable adaptability. Within days of implementing new countermeasures, the aliens began modifying their stealth technology to operate on alternative frequencies. Emily's sensor grids detected these adjustments almost immediately, prompting an arms race of technological evolution. She responded by developing frequency-shifting algorithms that could anticipate and counteract these adaptations in real time. The invaders, however, revealed another layer of sophistication. They started employing diversionary tactics, creating false energy signatures to draw defensive resources away from their primary objectives. This escalation forced the team to rethink their entire strategy. West authorized the development of autonomous drone swarms equipped with miniature disruption units, capable of responding instantly to detected threats while preserving human lives. The drones operated in coordinated patterns, creating overlapping fields of detection and suppression that proved increasingly effective against the invaders' evolving tactics. Yet each success brought new challenges, as the aliens incorporated countermeasures of their own, including what appeared to be EMP bursts that temporarily disabled electronic systems. The technological battle reached unprecedented levels of complexity, with both sides constantly innovating and adapting, turning Arcadia into a proving ground for advanced warfare techniques. The mounting pressure took its toll on the leadership team. West found himself questioning every decision, haunted by the faces of fallen comrades. Late-night strategy sessions often turned into philosophical debates about the morality of their war efforts. Emily, burdened by the weight of countless calculations and projections, began experiencing vivid nightmares about endless mathematical sequences spiraling out of control. Ludwig's usually sharp observations became clouded by exhaustion, his senses overwhelmed by constant sensory input from detection equipment. During one particularly grueling mission, they suffered their most significant loss yet. An entire surveillance team vanished without trace near a major convergence zone. The setback triggered a crisis of confidence throughout the colony, with some questioning whether their resistance was futile against such a superior enemy. In response, West initiated mandatory rest periods and mental health support for all personnel, recognizing that their greatest asset wasn't technology, but human resilience. Team meetings became forums for sharing fears and doubts alongside strategic insights, fostering deeper connections among members. These moments of vulnerability paradoxically strengthened their resolve, reminding them that their fight wasn't just for survival, but for the fundamental right to exist free from invisible oppression. Through persistent observation and analysis, Emily identified a critical vulnerability in the invaders' operations: periodic synchronization events where multiple entities converged to recalibrate their stealth systems. These gatherings created temporary windows of opportunity, as the energy requirements for simultaneous recalibration briefly disrupted their cloaking fields. The team dubbed these events exposure points and developed specialized detection equipment tuned to identify the unique harmonic signatures preceding each synchronization. Working closely with Ludwig, they mapped out timing patterns and locations, discovering that these events occurred approximately every 72 hours near specific mineral deposits. The challenge lay in reaching these sites undetected and maintaining position until the exposure point occurred. West devised a series of covert insertion protocols using underground tunnels originally dug for mining operations. Small teams would infiltrate positions during the preceding night cycle, using specially designed stealth suits that masked human thermal and electromagnetic signatures. The operation required perfect timing and absolute silence. Any premature detection would trigger an immediate retreat of the invaders. Emily's countdown timers became the heartbeat of each mission, marking the seconds until potential discovery. Success depended not just on technology but on human patience and discipline, waiting motionless for hours in complete darkness, listening for the telltale hum of approaching alien energy fields. The first successful ambush occurred during the longest night cycle, when both of Arcadia's moons were below the horizon. West led the operation personally, guiding his team through narrow tunnels toward the predicted exposure point. The oppressive silence was broken only by the gentle beeping of Emily's synchronization detectors, each tone bringing them closer to their target. As the countdown reached zero, the air trembled with an otherworldly vibration. The invaders had arrived. At precisely the calculated moment, the team activated their disruption fields, bathing the chamber in cascading waves of counter-frequency energy. For the first time, they witnessed the full manifestation of their enemy: dozens of crystalline beings, their forms shifting between solid and liquid states, radiating prismatic colors that defied conventional physics. The aliens reacted with surprising agility, attempting to maintain their stealth fields against the interference. Several managed to escape, but 3 were successfully contained within stabilized force fields. The captured specimens revealed unexpected biological components beneath their technological exteriors, intricate neural networks pulsing with bioelectric energy. These discoveries challenged previous assumptions about their nature, suggesting a hybrid species evolved specifically for infiltration and conquest. The successful capture marked a turning point in the conflict, providing invaluable intelligence while demonstrating that the invaders were not invincible. Analysis of the captured specimens revealed a hierarchical structure within the alien society, confirming the existence of a central authority directing their operations. Emily's examination of neural patterns detected recurring command signals originating from a specific sector of the colony, an area previously considered too geologically unstable for human habitation. This discovery pointed to the presence of their leader, whom they designated as Shar, based on intercepted communications. The entity's signal signature differed significantly from other specimens, characterized by complex modulation patterns suggesting advanced cognitive functions. West assembled an elite strike team for what would be their most dangerous mission yet: locating and confronting Shar directly. The operation required unprecedented coordination, combining all their developed technologies into a single integrated assault package. Emily designed a specialized disruption matrix capable of targeting Shar's unique frequency while protecting against potential countermeasures. Ludwig mapped out approach vectors using natural terrain features to mask their advance, while engineering teams prepared contingency plans for various engagement scenarios. The psychological preparation proved equally crucial. Facing the mastermind behind months of terror required mental fortitude beyond normal combat situations. Briefings included detailed simulations of possible encounters, preparing the team for both physical and psychological warfare. As D-Day approached, the colony held its collective breath, knowing that success or failure would hinge on this final confrontation. The assault on Shar's stronghold unfolded with heart-stopping intensity. The team navigated through treacherous caverns illuminated only by their helmet lights, each step echoing ominously in the confined spaces. As they penetrated deeper, the air grew thick with electromagnetic interference, causing their equipment to flicker unpredictably. Suddenly, the walls themselves seemed to come alive, rippling with energy patterns that suggested Shar's awareness of their approach. Without warning, the cavern transformed into a kaleidoscope of shifting dimensions, their surroundings bending and twisting in impossible ways as Shar attempted to disorient them. West's voice cut through the chaos, keeping the team focused on their objective. Emily's disruption matrix activated just as Shar materialized before them, a towering crystalline form radiating waves of pure energy that threatened to overwhelm their protective fields. The entity communicated not through words but through direct neural impulses, flooding their minds with images of destruction and domination. Yet within this psychic assault lay crucial information. Shar's kind viewed humans as mere obstacles to claiming Arcadia's unique resources. Drawing upon every lesson learned during months of conflict, the team executed their carefully rehearsed protocol. Counterfrequencies pulsed in precise sequences, forcing Shar to maintain visible form while specialized dampening fields neutralized its reality-bending abilities. The confrontation became a deadly dance of adaptation and counter-adaptation, each side pushing their technology to its limits. When Shar unleashed a devastating energy surge, the team responded with synchronized EMP bursts, temporarily disabling its core systems. This brief window allowed them to deploy the final component of their strategy, a containment field calibrated specifically to Shar's unique energy signature. The successful capture of Shar marked a decisive turning point in humanity's struggle on Arcadia. With their leader contained, the remaining invaders began withdrawing from colony territory, their organized attacks giving way to sporadic, uncoordinated attempts at resistance. Emily's analysis of Shar's neural patterns revealed crucial information about their species' homeworld and motivations, explaining their desperate need for Arcadia's rare mineral composition. Negotiations conducted through carefully modulated energy signals established a fragile truce. The aliens would cease hostilities in exchange for limited access to specific resource sites. The colony emerged forever changed by their ordeal, its inhabitants bonded by shared trauma and triumph. Detection technology developed during the conflict revolutionized planetary security, while the psychological resilience forged in battle became a cornerstone of colonial identity. West stood once more at the observation deck, watching as twin suns bathed the settlement in golden light. The scars of war remained visible, but so did the evidence of recovery and growth. New buildings rose where destruction had once reigned, their designs incorporating lessons learned about both defense and community. As the camera pans across the scene of renewal, remember that stories like these are made possible by your support. Subscribe now to continue exploring the boundless possibilities of human courage and ingenuity in the face of impossible odds.